Hi again, folks. In this video, who are the teams in our conference in cap hell? Let's look at it coming up. All right, we'll look at some clips here, guys. And I will try to keep this. Hold on. What am I doing? God. Give me a sec, guys. Give me a sec. Whoops. Okay, save changes, and I'm back. All right. Let's look at the clip. Shout out goes to James Miller, and he says this could have been a 45-second video talking about my Ben Bishop video. It's a shame he even had to explain this one. Wayne, I'd love to see a video discussing our team, the teams in our conference that are in cap hell, and how this relates to the Sabres having a much better chance of making and succeeding in the playoffs in the upcoming years. Boston looks like they could be falling apart. Okay, so let's look at this clip. There's just going to be one clip, and then I'm going to talk about these teams in a sec, as we're, no point in showing clips to everything, but I do want to show this one. And you know what? I'll put it at the bottom while I talk about the teams. That's going to make it work better, guys. So let's look at Tampa Bay. All right, they're at the top. And you'll notice James, Vegas is in there. I have to put Vegas in there. I just can't let that go. Okay, I know it's all our conference, but Vegas absolutely have to make this list. So there's Boston, Florida, Philly, Tampa. So three of the teams in cap hell are in our division. That's good news for us. It's good news for us. So let's take a look. We'll go to Tampa Bay first. They're on top of the list. Now, Tampa, if you look, next year, they're $2 million over the cap, right? Doesn't sound so bad. But guys, they have to get 4 more players to have a roster. There's going to be a casualty. There's going to be a casualty. And, you got Riley Nash, Andre Palat, and Nicholas Paul all unrestricted too. And they have no money. So it's getting harder and harder for Tampa to keep the team, right? It's normal. And Jan Ruda also. So, there's guys that they want to sign. Ruda is 31. Palat's 31, Nash is 33, Nicholas Paul's only 27. So this is the issue over there. They got to sign guys, get guys, and somehow decrease the money. So they're in a mess. Looking at Montreal. Montreal, no notable signings that need to be done except Alexander Romanov. Okay? He is just coming out of his entry level. And from what I see here, yeah, he is actually, he's not, that's just him not being eligible for an offer sheet. That's all that is. Okay. So, yeah, the Habs need to get him signed. And I don't know what they're going to do with the other guys. Really looking at these guys, it probably won't sign some of these guys. But take a look at Montreal. Okay, you see their cap number, right? They're about $1 million over the cap, right? Doesn't look so bad, but guys, they have 18 guys signed. They got to get 5 guys signed. One of them is Romanov. They have no money. But when you're paying a Nick Suzuki already $7.875 million a year, and then you got Gallagher $6.5 million, who's really seen his better days. To trade Gallagher, they're going to have to eat half of that. There's no way somebody's going to pay $6.5 for Gallagher. Josh Anderson, $5.5. I could handle that. I could. Jeff Petry was horrible last year. He's making $6.25 million in the next 3 years. And the worst of the bunch, guys, Carey Price, $10.5 million for the next 4 years. A mess in Montreal. An absolute mess. Let's look at, let's go to Boston. Okay, we'll go by the order of the list. Let's go to Vegas. Go to Vegas. Now, Vegas, where they are holding pat, these guys are, what does it say right now? They got 200 million in caps, 200,000 in cap space, and they got to get 6 guys signed. Yeah, Vegas is a disaster financially, a disaster. They have no choice. Eichel making $10 million, Stone making $9.5, Pacioretty making $7, Carlson making $5.9. Good contract there. Dadonov, $5 million for 1 more year. They can handle that. Marcia Show, $5 million. Not bad. Pietrangelo, 8.8, way too much, way overpaid. Alex Martinez, 5.25, doesn't bring it no more like he used to. Shea Theodore, there's a good contract, 5.2. And that's really about it. Robin Lehner, $5 million to just really hear himself all the time. Vegas is a disaster, financially. Boston, we were talking about Boston here, okay? This is what James was talking about, Boston. Yes, Boston doesn't appear that bad, right? I mean, if you look, you see they just need to get one player signed on the roster, and they got $2.3 million. But one of those guys that isn't signed is a guy named Petry Bergeron, who might retire, they're saying, right? And they need to figure that out. If they're going to, keep him or not. Like if Bergeron comes back, they're for sure going over the cap. And they're going to have to figure out how to get this done. They're going to have to figure out, there's going to have to be a casualty. Somebody will have to go. They will have to get somebody else and get somebody in a minimum. But if you look next year, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-1, 7-1, 7-2, 9 guys next year, 7 unrestricted, 2 unrestricted. Next year is when they're going to feel it, James. Not so much this year. Next year, they're going to feel it. Florida, already in cap trouble. Florida need to get 6 guys signed, and they got $3 million of cap. And they have, they got some guys that need to be re-signed, that are unrestricted. Ben Sherratt might be the most notable. Robert Hagg's unrestricted. Marshman, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with these guys. But put it this way, okay? They need to get 6 guys signed, and they got $3 million. That means they got to move somebody out, open up some money. 6 guys have to come in at minimum. They're not going to be as powerful next year. That means they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to have about 10 guys making under $1 million on this team next year. See, this is when bad money management eventually can catch up. This was the year really for Florida where they were all in, and it just didn't happen. But we'll see. We'll see how they manage their money over there. I wish Florida well. I don't want to see them do bad. Let's look at the Flyers. And the Flyers, okay, they have how many on? Yeah, they got to get 5 guys signed with $5 million of cap. And the Flyers right now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that make $1 million or under. Now it's got to be 12. No choice, because you got to sign 5 with 5. Okay? And if you look at any notables, not really. Not really. They could let everybody pretty much go. They might sign a Morgan Frost. Not much. Philadelphia just are going to feel it like the Leafs did, because they got guys making 7, 6.75, And then also, let's keep in mind on injury reserve, right? But those count against the cap right now. So they got 3 guys making 7, 2 making 6, right? 2? Yeah, 2. The money is so important. And the last one, I would say, is if you look at us, I'm not going to put it up there, but if you look at the Sabres, we are looking good financially. So this is where these teams are at. And I'll tell you what, those teams that you see on the list right there, I might as well just leave it up there for another few seconds here. Those teams you see up there, Tampa, this is their last kick of the can, I think. I do. And then you got Montreal, who are going to be tied with Vegas with the most boneheaded contracts. We'll move on from those 2. Boston can find their way out of it. Florida, not so much. They're going to be feeling it. You better hope that they've been drafting well. This is where the draft comes in, James. Really comes in. If they drafted really good in Florida, then they're going to survive this. You know what I mean? For a few years. Philadelphia, I don't know what to tell you. Really, I mean, 5 guys, they have to have another 5 guys making $1 million. They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. Nobody's going to take those big contracts off their hands. I mean, really, and anybody that's willing to take what are these contracts? Think of it. I wouldn't take Kevin Hayes for $7.1 million. I wouldn't take Van Riemsdyk for $7 million. Provorov, maybe $6.75. He's pretty good. Risto's making $5.1. He's signed in for the next 5 years over there. And then you got Couturier, $7.75. My goodness. And Ryan Ellis at $6.25 for the next 5 years. Ouch. And he's 31. No thanks. If we start signing guys long-term, okay, that are that much older, then we brought it on ourselves, guys. We brought it on ourselves. So we got to be smart with the money and not be spending it stupid and locking in guys long-term because we're panicking. We've done that before. It's a quick fix. It doesn't work. It will backfire again. And then everybody, you know what they're going to say? See, it wasn't because of Jack. That'll be the first thing. No, it's not because of Jack. It was bad money management that killed us for years, okay? We didn't build the team around Jack properly, and a lot of players just didn't want to come into a place that's not healthy and doesn't know what they're doing. They don't want to come play there, and I can't blame them. I can't. Now the team's being run right. Word gets around the league. We should have a lot of chances in the offseason to pretty much sign who we want to get. Let's see if we do it. All right, that's it, guys. I got one more coming your way. See you there.